let's go to the country together, which abounds in an extraordinary natural wealth of animal and plant species.
Costa Rica.
Between North and South America. And we find a little American country, which is also known as the biological laboratory of planet Earth. Its area is approximately the same as European Slovakia and has a similar human population. But there are many more animal and plant ones, an incredible number of ecosystems contribute to this richness and natural diversity, that is, natural communities that can be found from the underwater world of the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Caribbean Sea on the other. These are made up of rocks, beaches, and mangrove forests. Tropical freshwater wetlands are unique. Dry tropical forests, lowland rainforest that transition to mountain mist forests or volcanic peaks. These conditions create the perfect environment for the richest biodiversity on planet Earth. The tropical rainforest is the Earth's key ecosystem, together with the ocean and glaciers, generating oxygen for all living organisms, including a human. In wood, trees store carbon, which is an important element in the exchange of substances, maintaining climate balance. Further creates air humidity, which is carried long distances by the wind, and is a key factor in maintaining stable weather with regular rainfall around the world. When you leave the lowland forests with their huge trees and head to the higher altitudes of the mountains, you will enter the fabulous ecosystem of the mountain rainforest, which are literally nature's water factory. Every tree is covered with mosses, bromellas, and orchids. Everything here retains rainwater, and these forests are regularly shrouded in thick fogs. The annual rainfall here is up to 6 meters per square centimeter. It's an incredible amount of fresh water, which is also retained by mosses and tree roots and gradually released into streams and rivers. Rainforests are home to a huge number of plant and animal species, many of which are still unknown. Many plants are the basis for the production of important medicines. The rainforest should be protected like an eye in the head, but it still isn't. And people are destroying them, especially for timber, farmland, and grazing for livestock, especially cows. It is livestock farming that has caused the complete devastation of Costa Rica's dry tropical forests in the past, which have been cleared in the past centuries and replaced by cow grazing. Such an area is the province of Guanacaste, where non-native African grass has been planted due to cattle ranching, resulting in massive forest fires every year. Some of the heroes of the Costa Rican nation are the rangers, forest firefighters, who fights difficult and dangerous battles with fire. Forest fires are mostly man-made, that burns sugarcane or smokes wild bees during harvest, or deliberate poachers setting fire to the forest to chase the animals or distract the ranger. Sometimes all it takes is a discarded cigarette butt. To this day, the dry tropical forest ecosystem is recovering and, thanks to strict protection and reforestation, is returning to its original places. One such area is the ACG Guanacaste, which consists of the 3 national parks of Santa Rosa de Guanacaste and Rincon de la Va. The former literally rises out of the ocean and into dry tropical forests, is inhabited by many species of wild animals, which has returned here, and once again, the local ecosystem has come alive in a fascinating wilderness. The main jewel of this area is the coastline, where sea turtles come out to lay their eggs and American jaguars wait for him. These massive beasts roam the beaches at night, hunting for giant ducks, which they bite through the skull or shell, and with their paws take the meat from their shells. Make it seem cruel, it is this fact that protects the little turtles from other animals that would otherwise dig up their eggs and decimate the entire unhatched population. ACG Guanacaste transitions from the coast of Santa Rosa National Park into the dry tropical forest ecosystem where the deer live, white-tailed pigs, bakers, capuchin malpas, hawk tapestries, but also, of course, the ocelots, cougars, and jaguars. Eventually, the landscape rises into volcanic mountains and transitions into an ecosystem of rainforest and mountain mist forest. The whole area of Rincon de la Vieja is volcanically active. Of the province of Guanacaste has a completely different climate than the rest of Costa Rica. It's a hot and dry area, where it doesn't rain most of the year, and for these reasons, it is also very vulnerable. As far as the fire is concerned, the driest and hottest climate area is Palo Verde National Park, which is an extraordinary gem thanks to its seasonal wetlands and the annual migration of migratory birds. The local wetland ecosystem is very diverse. You will find here extensive water areas, which for several months of the year is a unique place for birds, as well as a large number of crocodiles inhabit the local waters. In the period of January, at the beginning of March, a huge number of birds gather here, who share food with crocodiles, fish. As the water recedes, the space for the fish is shrinking, which both crocodiles and birds take advantage of to feast together. Wetlands is a dry tropical forest with rich flora and fauna. Many trees have adapted to their environment and have created the perfect protection in the form of thorns to resist the bite of animals. From December to April, even this waterless area's streams dry up, and it is very difficult for wildlife to find water outside of the wetlands. Any place with fresh water becomes a magnet for to monitor animal life in the wild, rainforests or dry tropical forests. So we need more than just video cameras and still cameras, but also photo traps that allow us to film in our absence and for many long months there, where we don't need to go unnoticed, so we can film comfortably. Flying gems of the Costa Rican rainforest, which are beautiful hummingbirds. These small birds feed on nectar and are important pollinators of flowers. The speed of their wings is quite incredible. The bird kingdom of the Costa Rican rainforest is extremely rich, and some of the most famous birds inhabiting the rainforest are the big-billed toucan and the macaw parrots. This particular species of colorful parrot has been driven almost to extinction in the wild by the demand of the illegal pet trade and the incomprehensible human desire to selfishly cage them in captivity. On the other hand, hawks are the big, playful birds of the rainforest, of which there are several types, and majestically strut the jungle vegetation, and the shrill cries of the songbirds, drongos, are beautifully colored, while the sloths completely blend in, are only active at night. Most of these birds feed on either berries or tree buds or insects. ATA ants are among the well-known representatives of the insect kingdom of Costa Rica, called editors. These small and very efficient workers are literally building highways in the rainforest, after which they carry the finely cut leaves and rush with them to their ant hills, where they grow mushrooms on them. These are then fed to their larvae. In the mysterious recesses of the rainforest live the Mexican anteaters, who feed on ants not only on the ground, but they also climb trees in my house, where they search tirelessly for their food, while the anteaters are looking for ants. So sloths feed exclusively on leaves or tree buds, are very slow tree dwellers, and don't like to come down to the ground. Only emptying their bowels or mating will force them to do so. The sloth is a slow animal, but these capuchin paintings, understanders or believers. They, on the other hand, are very adept at climbing the forest canopy, and from time to time they show up on the installed photo traps. They feed mainly on fruit, sometimes by insects, but otherwise they're very picky eaters. That they don't like or aren't ripe yet, he'll throw it away, but it certainly won't go to waste. They roam under the trees looking for fallen fruit and more food. Golden agouti, then the lowlands, mazamas, red or white-tailed deer, and also the omnivorous rhinoceros, white-footed and armadillos, who often seek out insects and their larvae. Costa Rica's largest terrestrial wild animal is the American tapir. This giant of the rainforest grows up to 300 kilograms and is a herbivore. All of the above animals also have predators who prey on them while naturally reducing their numbers. Smaller felines live in the rainforests of Costa Rica. Ocelots are arboreal and long-tailed. The largest of the ocelots is the great ocelot, which grows up to 20 kilograms in weight. These beautiful little cats mainly catch rodents and birds. Ocelot the Great, they're already catching armadillos, agoutis, and paki, but he'll take on sloths and monkeys. The American puber can grow up to over 100 kilograms, and thanks to this it can also afford larger animals, especially deer, but also tapirs. The king of the Costa Rican rainforest is the American jaguar. This exceptionally strong feline with a crushing grip in its jaws grows to a normal weight of 100 to 120 kilograms. The jaguar can normally catch a tapir, and its grip allows it to catch, for example, sea turtles on the coast, where the giant ducks lay their eggs jaguar. Unlike a cougar, it doesn't go for its prey's throat, but is able to bite through her skull. There may be problems with it in places with livestock, especially cows, where local farmers illegally kill these critically endangered beasts to protect their profits. The jaguar is the largest felid in the Western Hemisphere and is in the top 3 of the world's big cats, like the Asian tiger, the African lion, and the American jaguar. If we talk about the ecosystems of Costa Rican nature, so we can't forget about the ocean and the underwater world, despite the fact that Costa Rica is afraid, though a very naturally diverse landmass, so the oceanic part of it covers a huge area. As far as 550 kilometers away, as Coconut Island, near the Pacific coast, is the Biosphere Reserve of Canoe Island, where the seamount system begins that stretches across the coconut trees to the Galapagos itself. The richness of underwater biodiversity is demonstrated that Costa Rica deserves strong and strict conservation laws, not only on land, but also the underwater surface. One of the greatest phenomena of Costa Rica's Pacific coastal zone are the humpback whales, who come here every year on their pilgrimage from Antarctica and the Arctic to mate here. They gave birth to their young and then returned to the cold waters of both poles. Together today, we got a glimpse of the Central American ecosystem in the country, which is one of the jewels of planet Earth, especially thanks to its protection system. Costa Rica has 30 national parks. Trees may not be cut down, or animals may not be hunted, trapped, or fed in them. 1/3 of Costa Rica is protected by law as national parks, which are logically fee-paying and free of encroachment. This country has embarked on a path of nature conservation and related ecotourism, which brings significant financial resources not only to private individuals, but also to the state budget. State nature conservation is a key force in environmental protection. SINAC and MINE, where the key to success is the guardians of nature on the ground, rangers then. This important group of civil servants is fully technically equipped, armed, and with full powers as police. Only in the area of conservation does Costa Rica not have an army and has embarked on a path of peace. Costa Ricans are very proud of their national parks and the state of nature, to a functioning school system. Even their greeting is Pura Vida, a pure life. In 2021, the Rainforest for Children founded a branch of Bosque para los Semines in Costa Rica, bought 154 hectares of mountain mist forest in the Taucito area and started its project activity there. Part of our work is organizing volunteer programs, which they also help to underfund. We have built a volunteer and an ecotourism center with accommodation for 20 people, including the possibility of meals. No, somewhere in the middle of Hungal. A network of monitoring trails has been created in the reserve, which are equipped with photo traps Part of our work is fauna monitoring, protection of the area in the form of patrol activities, organizing volunteer programs, and education for children in cooperation with schools. From 2023, we are opening another Blue Life project in Guanacaste province, where a second volunteer ecotourism and ocean education center will be established with a focus on protecting the underwater world, monitoring on land and at sea, where our targets will be jaguars and whales. An integral part of the project will be cooperation with forest firefighters and assistance in fighting forest fires. And of course, the education of children, youth, and the general public on the ocean and its sustainable use. Despite the fact that people think that Costa Rica is the perfect country, where there is no problem with the devastation of nature, so the reality is somewhat different. The laws are set well and are also required, but illegal activities are still taking place that are seriously threatening this world gem. Costa Rica is a world model of conservation, and that is why every effort must be made to make this example work and to spread it to other countries. The Children's Forest Society has decided to help on this difficult journey and is using the potential of volunteer programs to help national parks. This is how we gave a helping hand to the national parks of Braulio in 2022, Cari, Apalo, Verde, where we did a great job, as well as we helped in the Caribbean part in Cahuita with beach cleaning. On them, giant leatherbacks lay their leathery eggs. We are ready to continue this activity and show volunteers how extremely important their work is to the national parks, reserves, and wildlife. Our mission is to set a personal example for people in relation to nature conservation, protected areas, and in cooperation with rangers whose work we value and support. One of the worst situations that can happen in nature are fires, forest fires in Costa Rica's northern Guanacaste region, National Parks Palo Verde, Santa Rosa. That's how huge forest fires happen every year in the dry season. And that's what firefighters are here for, whether professional or volunteer, forest firefighters. And we are joining their side as the Forest for Children in less nature to help them. And this, what you see, these are major natural disasters which are very difficult to stop, but those guys who work here are really all free to choose what we're helping. But trust me, that wild nature is the key energy for the healthy development of human civilization in climatically stable conditions. Nature does not need humans to live, while we all need nature. It's up to each of the know